Hey guys, welcome to Approach the Nerd. We have done it. We have come the long haul of the first season of Yashahime. This is episode 24. So we have good news and we have bad news. The good news is we are getting a season 2. The bad news is I didn't hate this episode, but this episode has shown me that this is the first time since I started doing reviews on this channel, which I think started in July of 2019, that I feel like a flaming idiot. I feel like I'm missing some points that I guess are over my head. I don't know. I don't know. This is the first time that I'm doing a Q&A instead of an actual review. And the Q&A portion, instead of me answering it, I'm asking the questions because I'm like, what in the beepity beep? Okay. So backstory, I said this a lot, guys. I know for those of you who have been following me for a while, you know I have a film degree and I specialized in script writing. So screenwriting is my thing. I also like to edit. I try to look at this from a lot of varying angles here. And there's just things that have not made a lot of sense. So, and you know, honestly, I'm to the point, everything would have been resolved if they had a lightsaber. Like, just give them a damn light. You know, okay. So let's just jump in so you can be just as effed up about life as I am right now. Because I know it's early. I've had 2 hours sleep. Maybe that's contributing to what's about to happen and come out of my mouth. I did stay up way too late watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, 4 hours and 5 minutes. What the hell was the 5 minutes? I don't understand. So that review's coming if my brain allows. Let's just jump in. So my first observation, which is not a question, is that, and we've already known this, Corinne Maru is not trying to kill anybody. And the reason I'm saying this is he shows up, he cusses his sister out, yells at her about basically getting rid of the Tenseiga, and then, you know, basically says, you've gone too far, apologize to Shishomaru about him losing his sword. His daughters are there. They're getting ready to escape. They come back. He says, well, what about them? And of course, you know, Shishomaru is like, well, you know, this is a trial, you know, basically cowardice and courage. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. And so he's like going off to fight Zero. And so, of course, Kurimaru is like, okay, well, I guess I just have to fight you now. I would have let you escape, but I guess I have to fight you now. And I'm like, what? And look at this logically. Not while he's actually fighting them, he's basically explaining their powers, their lack of ability when they do their power-ups, because, you know, they're apparently, because they're on Toga's grave, or where he died, his death site, it gave him more of a power-up. So Moroha and Towa do this like Super Saiyan demon, you know, mode, you know, thing on him. And he's like, oh, this is excellent, blah, blah, blah. He's instructing them, but he killed Setsuna, which pissed me off. He even said, I feel bad. We don't have Tenseiga. We could have brought her back. Well, if you were worried about it, then why the hell did you kill her? Like, so I'm going to look at your comments and stuff. I just have to get my brain straight. Let's go back to Sesshomaru. What was the point of any of this? What was the point of you bringing Zero back in the previous freaking episode if you were just going to be like, well, I'll take care of Zero now? Why'd you bring her back? She was freaking dead. Rin will be more sorrowful. Rin cannot be sorrowful if Rin is dead. What is happening? Okay, so Rin was crying. I'd be crying too, because this whole episode made me cry. And Jockin went and of course he found So Jekken found Tatsai, which is funny to me. I mean, I don't know why he bothered finding Tatsai, but I thought it was funny that Jekken was able to get to Tatsai from the Tree of Ages very quickly, but Tatsai was taking 7.5 hours to get to the battleground to tell them that he can make a Yukari no Tachikiri sword, a heavenly sword. He's like, I don't think I'll get there in time. And I'm like, well, what have you been doing all of the rest of the 23 episodes? I'm like, I'm confused. So, my first question, what do you think Sesshomaru whispered to Toa as he showed up near the end? Because obviously he didn't get Zero. And was he giving her the broken Tenseiga to use? Because she's able to, like, I don't know. She used a katana that had no blade and was able to channel demon energy. Did he think, hey, maybe I could just use this, too, just because it's broken? I'm really good at using broken weapons. Let me drink my Dunkin' coffee of truth. It's decaf. When you drink decaf coffee and you're very tired and it does nothing for you, but you use your imagination, you suspend your disbelief, and you tell yourself that this oat milk hazelnut coffee is doing something for you. That's what I'm doing right now with this finale. So still no Inuyasha and Kagome, but I knew they weren't going to do it. I knew they weren't. I knew if there was going to be a chance of a season 2, we weren't going to have them in this. I will say, we did get a tiny morsel of closure with the dream butterfly, in that it disappeared and Setsuna was able to go to sleep before she died. But we still have no idea what the hell the dream butterfly was about. So, okay. When Kirimaru attacked Setsuna, the line went directly down her body from the top of her forehead down. Why was she only cut in her chest area or stomach region? Shouldn't her face have split in half? I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to be that person. But I'm being that person right now. There was so much that was just. And Zero, they were calling Zero pathetic. They were like, Zero, she's pathetic. And Kuruma was like, yeah, I know. And so Sesshomaru was like, she's always going to be pathetic. So, she just basically needs to go. Which, again, why didn't you leave her dead in the last episode? Hence, you would still have your Tenseiga. And that way, if your daughter was attacked, you could bring her back. But no, for plot purposes, we had to have you bring back Zero just to talk smack to her and then try to kill her again. What are they doing? Now I know why Zero is doing what she's doing, because she's just flat out crazy. She literally was so in love with Toga, and he chose a human woman over her. She could accept Sesshomaru's mother because that was a higher level demon than her. She could not accept him going to a human over her. And then when Sesshomaru and Inuyasha did the same damn thing, let's just say girl lost her mind. So I get this. I do. I get this. I get her motivation. She's just batshit crazy. I'm sorry if I'm using profanity, guys. It's early, but I'm just like, she's just crazy. Riku stabbing Kirimaru and Kirimaru being shocked by this is interesting, because they've already said that he did something that made them lose trust in him. So then why would Kirimaru be surprised? Why? So scratch the right of courage and cowardice for a second. The girls were on Kirara. First of all, in what universe does Kirara only come in when Moroha gets hurt and he basically catches Moroha, but doesn't help home fight? What universe have you not seen Kirara get in that? Please explain to me. I mean, I'm pretty glad Kirara didn't do that, because Kirara probably would have died. But No, Kirala would have died. But it's just the principle. What was Kirala doing when they were fighting? Kirala was like floating off somewhere, but like living my best life. I'm like, and then to add on to that, in the last episode, Setsuna has already declared Zero her nemesis, her enemy number one. Why didn't they chase Zero instead of fighting Kirimuru? They literally had this dialogue saying, I see no opening. I would just get cut down. Even I know this. And then they go, what is wrong? So Shomaru just leaving his daughters and niece, that's the Shomaru. I mean, that was completely, OG accurate. If he would have stayed and fought, I probably would have said something. Because they're not Rin. Rin, he sees as human, does not have powers, and I hate to say this, but kind of feels kind of helpless. He kind of treats Rin like she's helpless. She can motivate him, but she can't fight. She's like, she just doesn't have that ability. So I get why he would never leave Rin, but his girls are half him. So I kind of feel like he's saying, hey, these girls got it. So I'm out. Like, even though I had to intervene with you last time by throwing my sword down in between you because, I didn't feel like they would win. So, my Bakusai, I had to go right in between to let you know I was here. I don't need to do that now, even though his Bakusai, that's all he needs. Because, of course, we all remember that his sword, his Bakusai, is the extension of his arm and it does amazing things. But apparently not enough to fight for his daughters today. So peace out, girls. Good luck. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Again, I don't hate this series. I am invested in these characters. I like these characters. I just don't like the writing. I don't like how they write these characters. I think they go too slow and have too many fillers in some parts. They go too fast in others. They create huge freaking plot holes that they never come back and circle around and explain. So Shomaru's behavior outside of him leaving his girls to fight is very problematic for me because I don't feel like that's something Sesshomaru would ever do. Like he would never, like I know in episode 3 or 4, the Tree of Ages Kikyo person did say, would you sacrifice this girl? Or eventually you're going to forsake this girl, and, it was a comment that she made. And I'm like, so is this what you were talking about? Is this the foreboding message that to save his daughters, he has to kill his wife? I know the fandom break if Rin dies. He sacrifices Rin to save their daughters. The fandom will break. I don't foresee that happening, especially since he didn't save his daughters. Setsuna is dead. I don't think Setsuna is going to stay dead because, that's not how this works. But that means for an entire span of time until season 2, Setsuna is dead. There is a reason he gave Toa Tenseiga, because again, she can use weapons that are damaged. She can channel her demon energy. So she should be able, in theory, to use that freaking sword without having the full blade. That's what I think is going to happen. But everything that has led to this moment sucks. Now I'm going to tell you what's good. I love Toa and Moroha's battle with him. The little cat fight that they had with Kirimuru from their end was pretty badass. And they were hurting him. And let's be real. I went back and I said at the beginning of this, Kirimuru was not trying to kill anybody. And the reason I'm saying that is the only reason he even lashed out at Setsuna is because she cut his face like Toa did. Because he was literally playing with them. You could tell he wasn't even using his full strength. He was playing with them. He was only going to literally, knock her around a little bit because he wanted to see Toa's full demon potential. He wanted to see it come out, and he realized that hurting her little sister made her angry enough for her to get her power to come out. That's why he was walking towards Setsuna. He didn't expect Toa to stab him from behind, which I don't understand. Why don't you think this way? You literally just got stabbed in the back, not even 5 minutes before, by your own, retainer. Why in the hell did you not think that someone was going to take advantage of the fact that you're already wounded and are standing behind you? I feel like there's a message I'm not getting. Again, this is the first time ever that I reviewed something and I feel like I'm too stupid to get where this is going because I don't get it. I'm trying to give you my best theories that Toa is going to use the Tetseiga to bring her sister back. But if you're asking me why Sesshomaru decided to kill a woman that's tethered to his wife after specifically bringing her back because he didn't want his wife to die in the previous episode, I have no answer for you. I don't understand. I don't understand why Sesshomaru said that Rin would be more sorrowful if this continues. Is he saying that her suffering, being separated from her daughters or having to stay in this like suspended animation is just too much for her now? So maybe she just needs to pass on. And I guess another question for me is, if his mother can control who passes in the underworld, does she have the capability to bring back why is Kirimuru happy that, Sesshomaru didn't go after the pinwheel? Is the windmill of time or whatever we're calling it, does that play into this? Are we going to be able to reverse all of these events with that windmill? What is happening? I need a direction. I need a plot. I need it to make sense. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. It's just, where's Shippo? I mean, where the hell is, we've gone through 24 episodes and we don't know where Shippo is. We've never seen him. And I mean, I don't understand. And another case in point, I'm defending Kirimuru a lot because if he was truly the villain, he would not have stood by and let Toa have this whole moment with Setsuna as she's dying. He would have stabbed her in the back like she did him. He literally stood behind her and said, like, something on the lines of, this kind of sucks. I mean, if we had the Tenseiga, we could bring her back. Like, literally. What? It's really weird. It is very, very, very weird. This is, like I said, this is probably my weirdest live stream because I watched this and I was just like, wow, I cannot find anybody's true motivation. I know what they're supposed to be motivated by. I just don't understand. And then, of course, there's the elephant of the episode. We keep referencing this Grimm comet. We had no mention of this whatsoever in the finale. So is this something that's supposed to play out in season 2? Grimm comet creates demons or allows demons to override or run the world or whatever? Or is this something we need to worry about in the modern age? And this has nothing to do with what's happening in the feudal age? I don't think that is even related to anything that's happening in the feudal era because they've already had the Grimm comet in their timeline. So am I to believe that there are 3 plots happening simultaneously at the same time? Because that's what it feels like. I feel like they're doing 3 different storylines. And they've already set up this modern day storyline, and we haven't even gotten to season 2. instead of what I wish they had done, which is try and tie up some things that were happening in season 1, or at least explain it. Why did Corinne Maru give the dream butterfly, if that's what happened, to Setsuna? When did this happen? We've seen 2 little moments of her backstory. When did he do this? I don't understand. When she was living in the half, yokai village, was she not sleeping then too? At what point did this happen? We've never gotten that. The dream butterfly is gone, and we still have no idea why and how it was even there to begin with. I don't understand. And if this is what they were going for, if they wanted season 1 to just make you ask a ton of questions, be very confused, and feel a little stupid until season 2 came out and they magically resolved everything, when they have succeeded with me, because that is literally how I feel. I have so many questions. I have so many questions and no answers at all, like none. And it's confusing. It's irritating. And like, I'm literally sitting here like flabbergasted. Like I'm trying to do an objective review like you guys have seen me do. I nitpick. I will tell you what I like. I tell you what I don't like. I will ask many questions. But this is literally question mark after question mark after there are so many questions. I feel like I should be watching somebody else's review, because obviously I missed something. Because this is I think I'm going to rename this video when we're done today to "I don't get it," because that's literally how I feel. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I know people are going to be like, but this is what's happening. But the thing is, you don't know that. Because when the next season comes out, you may be proven incorrectly. It's just like when we reviewed WandaVision, we all thought they were doing a modified version of House of M. I still kind of think they're still trying to do House of M, but I mean, they just made the main protagonist this one character. I'm not going to say anything in case you haven't actually seen it, but what we thought was going to happen didn't happen. And a lot of people were upset and then a lot of people were like, man, I told you so. And I feel like a lot of people, Yashahime is a show that has a lot of followers, a lot of fans, rightly so. Inuyasha was a big deal, stays in my heart. I love it. So a spinoff of that with our beloved characters' children, I mean, you're going to have to find a place in your heart for it, because it is their kids and these are your beloved characters. I get that. But you can't defend every story choice by the writers, because sometimes they don't make sense, and you have to call out when things seem kind of BS-y. And I'm sorry, this to me, part of this season had really good episodes. Part of this season had shitty episodes. Like, I keep going back to the whole Maroha episode. I love Maroha. I love her. But that episode with the bounty hunters versus the demon slayers was effing stupid. There was no point to it. They could have taken those 30 minutes and put in more exposition for the show. And here I am in episode 24. And the only major thing that has happened is Setsuna died. Everything else is basically right back where we started. Corinne Maru is not a bad guy. Yes, he killed Setsuna. He's not the bad guy. He shows remorse. He's sorry about everything. He was mad at his sister. So that means Corinne Maru is not the person that we think he is, or if you haven't thought that he was, because I mean, he was pretty lazy throughout this entire season. He really didn't do anything but sit there and look at the sky. So pointless. Zero was more of a villain than her brother, who, I can't say brother anymore because Zero has cut ties with him. She's no longer his sister. She's pissed. So she flew off. Riku is still very loyal to Zero. Another major thing, I guess, is that Riku and Toa do seem to have some kind of connection, because even when Riku left, Toa was like, I wish I could have talked to him more. And she was sad that she couldn't. So there's that, I guess, a little budding romance, which I don't know what's going to happen with that now that her sister's dead. Maroha got stronger, and she got stronger on her own. And I flipping love that about her. I love Maroha so much. She is the perfect blend of Inuyasha and Kagome for me. So she is probably my favorite character in this series, besides Kilala. I just love it. I love she used the Rouge, but I love that she, like she said, I am more in control than I have ever been. And she was ready to kill Kirimuru. There's just so much. There's just so much. I really thought we would have benefited from having not only a season 2, but to have a movie as a finale. So instead of having 30 minutes, maybe having like an hour and a half to 2 hour season 1 finale. I knew they weren't going to do that though. So, and I have no idea when season 2 is even coming out. So, I mean, it could be a year or two before we get another season. This sucks so much. I will forget all of the things I was questioning by the time season 2 comes out. I'll have to go back and rewatch this video. But it's just like the whole scene with Miroha, specifically for me. I loved how in control she was. I don't know if this was a mistranslation. I know some Japanese, but I don't think when they were talking and Toa was like, I'm going to take Kirimura on, I'm going to get revenge for Setsuna. And Miroha was like, well, no, it sounded like they translated it as she was my beloved friend and partner instead of my cousin, because she's related. It's like, why didn't they just say, well, she's my cousin or I'm family too? I don't know why they didn't do that, but because I mean, they're cousins. That was just something that I thought was a little bit weird. But okay, let's talk about some more positives, because I feel like I'm being very negative right now. And this is all coming from the fact that I feel stupid and I have a huge question mark now tattooed on my brain. So I did like their attacks evolved. I do love the fact that Kirimuru actually gave them props for having, attacks that only they can control now, especially Mirai. He said, you finally have a dragon, you have an attack that is only yours, that you can control, that you mastered. And that's the thing. I mean, if I had to fight a villain, I want to have a villain that gives me pep talks in the middle of the battle. It's like, oh, this is great. You're doing wonderful. You're really kicking my butt. That's kind of how I feel Kirimuru is. He was just very supportive in this. Like I went into this episode thinking I was going to be like, oh, that a-hole. When I came out, I'm like, he's actually not a bad guy. I mean, yes, he killed Setsuna. Yes, that sucks. But he really wanted to bring her back. And then if you really look at Sesshomaru right now and Kirimuru, they both did a complete 180 than, the last episode, because it seemed like Kirimuru was telling Sesshomaru's mother, well, I'm just going to have to kill your daughter. Sorry, your granddaughter. Sorry about that. And then you have, Sesshomaru. Sesshomaru was like, got here in time. I saved Zero. I didn't know how else to do it, but, you're connected to my wife, so you can't die. And now he's like, yeah, I'm just going to kill her. I'm like, so I'll be back. Okay. But I still stand by what I said. Toa got Tenseiga from Sesshomaru at the end. I don't know what he whispered. I want to believe he whispered, you can bring her back. But I don't think that's what he said. I have no idea, but he did say, would you try using this? And then it looks like he gave her Tenseiga. And again, she can use broken weapons with demon energy. So I think that she's going to bring her sister back. And then I think that that'll be, if I could say anything plot wise, I feel like that would be one of the coolest scenes, is she was the one that was able to bring her twin back, because then she'll feel like she never let go of her hand. Instead, she's reaching her hand out and pulling her back from death. And that would be her redemption, because she feels so guilty for separating from Setsuna. Like, it was really her fault. It wasn't her fault. But, people just be like that in these series. So I really think that that is what's going to happen. She's going to bring her sister back from death, and that is going to save her. And I think it's very foreboding too. If you really look at was it the closing scene or the when Setsuna is falling down? It's either in the opening or the closing. when she's falling into the water and Rin catches her, I think her mother's also going to help in some way. And I think that's why she was actually crying, because she knew that, Setsuna probably was going to die. That would actually validate the theory that the dream butterfly connects them visually, or she can see vicariously through her daughter. Like, so basically that's the only way she can keep up with how her daughters are and how they're living their lives, is by seeing it through Setsuna's mind. And maybe that's why she was crying, because she felt like something bad was going to happen. Because as far as we know, Rin is not a priestess. She doesn't have any actual powers. She's just a regular human that, Sesshomaru, brought back from the dead. But to be honest, I'd never think, did they ever explore in the OG series the after effects? Were there any after effects of people that were revived with Tenseiga? Like, do they get some kind of premonition? Are they sensitive to death? That would be an interesting thing to explore. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, I know in my heart Setsuna is not really dead. I am not concerned about that. She's dead, but she's not going to stay dead. I still don't understand, if the sword cut right here, the line was right here, why her face just didn't go bloop and bloop. Like, she literally looked like she was cut in half. But then it was just her abdomen, upper chest area. I don't know. That was really, really weird. But that would have been interesting, though, if that had actually happened, because I don't know how to bring somebody back when their body's in two pieces. Okay, so let me start looking at you guys' questions. I've been talking for 31 minutes and almost 32. So, nope, that wasn't shown in the original. Okay, that would have been cool, though, wouldn't it? If they actually had some kind of side effect to being, brought back by Tenseiga. Like, oh, now you're more sensitive to people that are going to die, or foreboding. Kind of like Dead Like Me. They're more like a Grim Reaper now. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, I think that would be cool. Sammy, I'm a Sesshomaru shipper and did not ask for this kind of story. It's hard. I know a lot of people think that this is kind of like a glorified fanfic. I've seen this across multiple fandoms. And honestly, though, that can be said for a lot of series. But it's just hard when it's something of this magnitude, when you've watched the OG show and you follow these characters and you're invested in these characters, and then you see like the result of these unions forming these children, and then the children are just like so separate from the OG characters. It's like they're not even related. Like when Sesshomaru came back and Toa was like, Sesshomaru-sama. She didn't say father. She said Sesshomaru-sama. So they're so removed, and it's sad. It's just really sad. Let's see here. Rin might be different, though, as she died twice in total and was ripped out of literal hair. This is true. She did die twice. You are absolutely right. Sly Fox, you're being sly this morning, because you are correct. She did. So she might actually have something. Because defying death twice, that is a big deal. That's interesting. I saw someone bash the original Inuyasha for having over 100 episodes until the finale, LL, and the Yashahime being so much greater because it rushes. So let me explain something about fandoms, okay? It's one of the reasons it makes what I do on this channel very difficult. I am a comic book fan. I love manga. I love anime. I love like a lot of like crazy stuff. I'm a big sci-fi nerd. Even down to Sailor Moon fan. They used to have these Sailor Moon musicals called Sailor Mew, and people are so toxic on those boards. They're just toxic. You will never find a more toxic fandom, though, in my opinion, than Star Trek. Trekkies are very toxic. I know I am one, but I try very hard not to be that way. I don't like that attitude, because at the end of the day, like with Yashahime, you need to separate fantasy from reality. Now, I know with COVID, a lot of people have gone crazier because we've been stuck inside and we've had nothing to do but watch our fandoms and obsess over our fandoms and become one with our fandoms. But you are not one with your fandom, because these are little animated characters. They are great stories to watch. They are great plot devices. They are great distractions from your real life. But the moment you get toxic with that crap, that is a problem. And that is something you will see all of the time. You literally can go to some of my videos and look in the comment section, and you will see people saying some things that make you really question whether they're insane. So I have to say that Yashahime is no different than any other fandom. There are going to be people on this, I guarantee you, on this live stream right now, when you've specifically heard me say, I don't hate this show. I am invested in these characters. I just don't like the writing. I will get shit for it, because that is what people do. There are beautiful people in this world, and then there are people, unfortunately, and I'm sorry to say, that are just trash. And I don't have time for it. I just throw it out. So it is what it is. So you are entitled to your opinion on this channel. You are not going to be flamed for it. I guarantee you. If you don't like this episode, I'm not going to get upset with you. If you like this episode, I am not going to get upset with you. That is what opinions are for. They're like assholes. We all have them, and hopefully we're all using them the same way, as in letting the garbage out. And I'm queer, so I'm not making that in a weird way. You can use your butthole for whatever you want. Just saying. Yes, the writing sucks. It is very challenging. Like there have been a few episodes where I was like, yes, this is cool, but there just hasn't been enough, if that makes sense. So it's definitely, you know how I always like troll on the CW writers. It's almost like somebody let the CW writers into the writing room in Japan, and I'm like, why did you open the door? I'm like, no. I've decided to talk about the birth of new legendary sword, Setsuna on Rim back with that sword. Yeah, so Totasai is the most underused character in season 1 outside of Shippo, who didn't even show up. Still don't get that. I really feel like they could have done so much more. I love listening to him talk. You know, I know he's got that old elderly, but he sounds so wise, but he talks so slow. He's like, well, I'm going to go talk to people about the sword. Like, after I have my tea. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen an old anime called Devil Hunter Yoko, but the grandmother in the dub version, her granddaughter was fighting her cousin, and they were identical. And she saw this explosion, and she literally said, "It has begun. I must go after I eat." That is what Totasai actually reminds me of. He's like, yeah, I need to go do that, but I'm stringing some string beans right now. It'll only take me 25 days to get there, and they're battling now. It can wait. You know? That just like cracks me up. I'm sorry. Just like, why didn't Jockin just grab him and be like, I can get you there faster? Oh my gosh. OMG, can we talk about the animation? I will say the animation in this was pretty, especially the fight scenes. I was trying to figure out if I was watching like a Sailor Moon type scenario, because they all of a sudden they were like in space. I don't know. I kind of felt like they blew Mercury up. Like they were like, the solar system was on point. I don't know what was happening. I don't know why they were in space, but it was awesome. Let's see here. Did they move up? I will just keep saying it. Yashahime is half demon boot camp. I can see that. I mean, it's boot camp where the main characters don't want to know anything about their past. They don't ask questions. They don't seem to want to do any of that. Let me pop some of these over here because it's easier for me to read. I mentioned it last time. Time plus source material equals quality. They did the same thing with GOT. Well, see, that's the thing. And you would think, being that it was 24 episodes long, being that they actually had Rumiko's blessing to do it. I'm assuming she was involved in some capacity, that they would have gotten a lot more, information and gotten a better outline so they knew where they were going. Because some of these episodes, it really felt to me like they were only writing them as they were animating them. So it's like, oh, well, we should try this and animate that. We'll try this and animate that. And it's like, you didn't have a plan. So it's really weird. It's very weird. I don't know. I like Yashahime and I enjoyed the episode, even though it didn't answer questions, but I watched the reviews so I can get the opinion of others. I don't have anyone to talk to about the show. Well, that's sad. But you know what? You can put whatever comments you want down here and I will answer them. I'm usually pretty good at doing that. It's just sometimes with my day job, because I work in a nonprofit environment, I'm also a voice actor. So I do this and I have 2 other jobs. I work 7 days a week, which is why I have these bags. I don't sleep a lot, but I will do my best to try to answer. And then other people will also respond to you. So if you ask questions, other people I have really good subscribers. They're very good about answering questions on here. So definitely put comments down because we like theories and we like comments. Will I do a season 1 like overview video? Probably. I don't know if I'll be able to do it this week. I have 3 other videos today and 2 tomorrow. So, but I will try, but definitely feel free to put whatever comments about any shows that you're into. I mean, because you never know. If I'm not into it, somebody else may talk to you about it on there. So definitely do that. Do you understand the thing about the pearls? Why does Sesshomaru add 0 tears to his daughter? Because they gave them powers. Rainbow pearls give you abilities. That's why he put them in his daughters. Because he kind of looked, he's like, oh, rainbow pearls. He knew exactly that they were 0s. Now, that's a question. How did he know they were 0s? Was this just common knowledge? Did she just like do it? And Riku, like she got rid of them, and then Riku was like going around telling everybody, these are Zero-sama's tears. I'm like, I don't know why Sesshomaru knew this unless this was a conversation they had off screen, which probably they've been around a while. So maybe she was just bored and said, I cried over your daddy and made some pearls. I don't know. That was just really weird. Inuyasha and Kagome and Black Pearl not getting old. I'm hoping they're not age. Well, Inuyasha probably won't age as fast. I don't know about Kagome, but I mean, it has been 14 years. Or 13 years. The twins are older than Roha, but not by much. So we'll just say 14 years. But I don't know. I mean, look at Songo. Songo doesn't look any different to me at all. She did not look like she's aged. Man, you want to talk about aging and somebody who's not even a demon. Kaide, that woman does not age. She got old all at once on one day and then stayed that age forever. I'm like, forever, because she had to be pushing 70 or 80 when Kagome first met her. And here it is, Kagome's daughter is like 13 or almost 14, and she still looks the same. So, I mean, I don't get it. Let's see. I like Toa with long hair. She looked like her daddy. She did. She got that instant hair growth. It looked like she got extensions. Her like, whoosh. I was like, okay. I see. She looked like she had a Precure moment. Like she just transformed and her hair turned long. It was kind of cool. Move up. I just don't know anymore. I don't understand the season at all for whatever they were trying to tell us. I think Indy, it's because they weren't trying to tell us anything. And that was the point. I think they wanted to create this season of questions that they have to answer in season 2. Maybe this is how they guaranteed a season 2 by doing it this way. They're like, we're going to have a bunch of plots and then we're going to answer them all in the next season. And they were like, what? Why would you do this? She also got the crescent moon on her head like her daddy. Yeah, she did. Well, Toa looks more like Sesshomaru. And to me, Setsuna looks more like Rin with a little bit of Songo mixed in for some reason. I don't know why. She gives me Songo vibes. But then Riku reminds me of Moroku. So, which is kind of funny, actually. Let's see here. Trying to move up, sorry. There's a lot of comments. I'm trying to get to the top. So if I repeat something, I'm sorry. It's age. Forgive me. Very first comment from Sammy. I feel you, Maria. I almost cried out of frustration because I don't understand where this is going. Yeah, it's because we care. Even when we say if we say we don't care, it's because we are invested in these characters. So that is why that's normally why people get so rabidly angry, is they get so attached to these characters and then it doesn't go the way you want, or somebody makes a comment that you don't like and then you're ready to fight. Which again, it's not real. So stop getting mad over this. It's not real. Let's see. Yeah, because he wasn't going full out, just a bit antsy, laugh out loud. At least he grew horns and his scales were seen on one of his arms. Oh, you mean Karimaru? Yeah, I saw how he had the scales on his face. I'm like, okay, I see Beast Dragon. And also when Karimaru mentioned the pinwheel, yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, it didn't make it seem to you like he didn't, like he wanted the pieces of the pinwheel. He didn't want Sesshomaru not to find it. And then he was happy that Sesshomaru didn't go after it. What was the point of bringing it up then? I'm confused. I think this is going to be a plot device for season 2. It has to be. Let's see. Karimaru sure got ugly in the extended demon form. Miss Allen. Dragons are pretty. I like the Dragon Prince on Netflix. If you guys haven't seen that, you should watch it. It is really good. I know that's random. Trish, what's going on? Depends on what you're talking about. I feel the same way, Maria. Trish, stop being a troll on her, please. I don't think Trish was trolling. I think Trish actually really doesn't know what's going on, which is fine because I don't know what's going on in this season either. Didn't he actually stop time at the end because the rain froze over for a moment? I didn't know if this was a creative choice and the animation just stopped so he could whisper to her. That's what it looked like it happened. It wasn't that time stood still. It stood still to her because Sesshomaru whispered something and then said, try using this, and gave her the Tenseiga that's broken. I don't think Sesshomaru has the ability to stop time. That's not something I've ever seen him do. So no. If he had that ability, he would have stopped Karimaru from almost killing his brother and his sister-in-law, making him put them in the Black Pearl. And possibly stop everyone from trying to come after his daughters. If he could stop time, a lot of this stuff probably wouldn't be happening. So I think it was a creative choice. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to put this on here. We even got Kikyo left up, but not a single mention of Shippo. I know. Do they hate him? Did he do something wrong? I'm confused why we don't have Shippo. It doesn't make any sense. Eteria, I love that name, Eteria Johnson. Are you telling me not to cry? I'm not crying. I have allergies. I don't know if you hear it right now, but you're going to see a lot of leakage. I promise you I'm not crying. I'm more confused and sad right now. I don't feel like Yashahime has the right to kill off Ren or even hint at it. I absolutely agree. That girl has been through a lot. She does not deserve to die at all. I mean, imagine being in love with your husband, having babies with your husband, and then not even 5 minutes after the babies are born, your husband comes and takes them away. You never see them again. And then you end up pretty much catatonic in the tree, floating in some water. I mean, that's just messed up. That girl's had a rough life. Yes, he's not a villain. He actually felt bad that Sasuna is dead. I know, which makes you question, then why did you kill her? I know she scratched your face. Are you like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Did you like go crazy for a second because you got a scar on your human side face and you're like, it's my precious, and then you're like, no, and you like slash her, and then you're like, oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know. That was very confusing. Yashahime can only end the way Sailor Moon did. Me too. Dumbfounded on this sequel. Well, I mean, if they can find the Shiko no Tama, I guess they can make a wish, like the silver crystal. Krimuru is not a bad guy. Yep. Let's see. Shippo was killed off this show. I don't think he's dead. I think he's off. I think Shippo has common sense. He's critical thinking somewhere. He's like, I don't need to be involved in this crap. I think the rain stopping was purely aesthetics. Yeah, I definitely think that was a creative choice. I hear a big helicopter over my house. I'm sorry. It's pretty early. I need to stop that. Krimuru, in a sense, is kind of training the girls, giving them knowledge. He's telling them what to call their techniques and what's not. I don't believe he's evil. Yeah, I feel like he's training them. He didn't seem evil when he was working with Toga. It doesn't make sense to me. Even at the beginning of this season, Miyoga said that Krimuru is not a bad guy. He's a very noble guy, basically. So then why in the hell would he be like this? All of this stuff is Zero's fault anyway. Everything is Zero's fault. It's all her fault. She can't handle that She's playing second fiddle to humans. That's what that is. Let's see. Moving on. When is season 2 coming out? I have no idea. Kurimaru is bipolar. I don't think he's bipolar because my mother was bipolar. Bipolar is more of you're not being able to control your moods. Like she would get very sad or angry randomly, get very happy very quickly. He's not any of that. He's shown nothing but laziness and complacency until it was something he actually got upset about. Like, I don't even feel like he got upset until Setsuna scratched his face. Because, Toa did it and then Setsuna did it. He was like, hold up. Like, if you go back and watch, that is what really set him off is when she scratched his face. He was like, wait a minute. Hold up. That was not in the script. Now I got to slice you completely from your forehead down. But don't worry. It won't touch your face. I'm like, I still don't understand that. I agree with the training. Mental issues with the family of the East. They're dysfunctional as hell, but maybe that's how most demon families are. Because look at Sesshomaru's mother. She acts like she doesn't give a crap about anything. But we know that she does. The whole show has too many questions and not enough information. That is the problem. There's not enough exposition. I'm so used to saying, oh my gosh, there's so much exposition. That was such a long explanation. They could have cut that in half or just played it out. But in this show, I'm like, where's my exposition? So careful what you wish for in other shows. It might roll over to the other one and you don't get it. So, let's see. So Shomaru keeps talking about courage and cowardice, a form of training. Kurimaru is the trainer. That'd be funny if this is all a training exercise at the end. By the way, none of this actually happened. We just want to see how you respond. This show stressed me out so much. I'm sorry, Cat Girl. It's hard, guys. It's hard. Like I said, you're invested. That makes perfect sense. You are invested and stuff is getting real. I'm already having issues because I don't know if you guys follow my Ruby episodes, but I feel like something similar is going to happen in Ruby because stuff is getting real in there too. And that's like too much for me in one day, but that's literally the next video I'm working on besides Power Rangers. So, yeah. Yeah. This is going to be a hard day for Maria. Sunrise did a marketing technique. Keep people writing more by not giving them anything in the beginning. That is true. So my MBA is in marketing. Don't know if anyone knew that. I have an MBA. Undergrad's film and MBA is marketing. And I specialize in forecasting. And that is actually, I feel like they made a Venn diagram based on like focus groups, the responses to different ideas that they threw out. And they took like the worst ones and they were like, oh, we can get a lot of clout. People get angry about this. Let's just put those all in the script. That'd be funny, actually. It literally has unused manga material in some episodes. Like, come on. I do agree with that. I wonder if we're going to have like an accompaniment type manga scenario, like I know it's different because Inuyasha already had the manga out when they did the anime. Not all of it, obviously, but they at least got to a point where when they had to do filler, it wasn't long before they were able to pick up. Yashahime, I don't think has anything like that. So this is probably the first time I've actually seen a series like this in reverse. I know they've done it before, but one that I've seen in reverse. It's interesting how they're interpreting it. Like I'm a big, I love a lot of different anime. Not just because I'm a voice actress, but because I just generally enjoy it. Like I loved old school anime. I like Fishugi Yugi and Escaflowne and Magic, Knights, Ray Earth, things like that. I'm a big certain scientific railgun fan. If you see, I have a Masaka doll behind me on the shelf. So I love following different anime plot lines. Sometimes it's redundant. Sometimes it's very cool. I always have a manga that I always have like a reference. Like I can say, okay, why did this happen? Then I go read the manga and I'm like, oh, okay. So they just adapted it this way. That's fine. They wanted to do their own thing. I got it. There's nothing like this. I always feel like maybe, in Japan where they give you like the first 12 episodes of something and then you have to finish it in the manga. Because I've seen so many anime when they do that. It's like, okay, finish watching this in the manga. Like Adachi to Shimamura. I know those are light novels. The way the anime has ended, which is why I haven't done my review yet. I need to do it. it has to be answered in the manga and the novels, because there's no way that that's just the anime. That's the conclusion of that. And I'm like wondering if we would have benefited from Yashahime having something like that. But then us, I'm in the States, so I don't know when they would actually get around to releasing it, because it certainly wouldn't be while the anime is running. So it probably wouldn't have benefited me if I'm really being honest, because if season 2 came out, like say they do it in September or October, the manga series probably wouldn't be translated and licensed by Viz and sent to us probably to the following year. So there's no point in even having it. So, but I really hate that we don't have that. I really do. It sucks. Okay, Maria addressed the fact that RT did not write Yashahime, which is why none of this makes sense. I wish Rumiko did have more of a voice in this. I don't know how much she was involved. I know she gave her blessing. I just don't know how much. I don't know if this was I'm giving my blessing, but then you guys went off the rails like Naoko did with Sailor Moon. I don't know. I wish I knew more about Japanese production companies. I know a little, but like I really wish I knew more about how that works. I know in the States, when you have a property and they get licensed to it, they can go a little crazy, which is why I think the writers of the last Avatar TV series or Netflix series, why they walked off, because they originally were on board and they started going their own way and they were like, okay, we're out. Maybe Rumiko did something like that too, and we just don't know about it. I don't know. Okay. I also get why Toa had the dragons, her father, but why was Maroha's sword form in Toga's form? Yeah, he's her grandfather. That's a good question, because she did have the Crimson Dragon, but maybe because he helped her more because she's a quarter demon. So because she doesn't have enough demon blood that we know of. And see, that's the thing. I thought the master said that she does have that blood in her, and that the rouge is a way of just channeling it out. So the power has been in her the entire time. So I don't know. That is a very good question, Trish. You're just adding on to the list of why we had a reddish orange version of Toga behind her, helping her fight. That's a good question. Maybe Toga felt Maroha needed it more. I don't know. Okay, I'm thinking there will be more information, and it will be in the manga. They need to have a manga that's released right away, because if not, we're waiting for season 2. I don't understand why Maroha has a stronger bond to Toga than Inuyasha. Well, she doesn't know her daddy. She doesn't know her mom. And honestly, I'm always flabbergasted, speaking of her mother, who is a reincarnation of Kikyo, why Maroha's spiritual energy doesn't hurt demons like it should. Like, I really don't get that. You would think that all of her spiritual attacks, untrained or not, would hurt them, because Kagome was hurting people and she wasn't trained at all throughout the whole series. She didn't start her priestess training till after she decided to marry Inuyasha. So I don't know if it's because she was pure priestess, I guess, but it's weird to me that like demons now are just like, screw your little attacks. It's like, okay. It kind of makes Kikyo's whole life pointless. Like, I'm wondering if Kikyo could have showed up and fought Korinmaru, and what would have happened? What would have been the outcome of that? If spiritual energy is not that effective against, king beasts or beasts of the East and West. But they keep implying that Maroha is more Toga's granddaughter than the others. Well, I think this is just me, okay? So Toga left Sesshomaru's mother. He didn't leave, Izuyoi. So she, Inuyasha's mother seemed to be his soulmate for him, his endgame. So that is his chosen family. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe because, he loved Inuyasha's mother so much that she's the favorite. I don't know. Sesshomaru was always on his bucket list of, having to learn a moral lesson. Learn to love humans. Learn to think about somebody other than yourself. Learn to give a crap, So Maybe that's why he is a little bit more partial to her. That's just me talking out of my butt, though. I don't know. Okay. Is this some weird Toga fan service? Yes. Like, especially for Zero, because Zero needs that because she is batshit crazy. Are they making a manga? I have no idea. I actually was curious about that. But I mean, again, if they do, unless we get somebody to translate it and scan them online, we won't see it for a long time. Doesn't need one since they take Inuyasha manga chapters and reuse them anyway. They do kind of modify a lot of stuff from Inuyasha. I do agree with that. They're winging this and it shows. Yeah. Those filler episodes were a telltale sign that they didn't have enough. They were just trying to figure it out. They literally were figuring this out as they went along. They should have planned this before they animated it. I mean, we could have waited another year for Yashahime if they had thoroughly planned it out. I don't know. It's just very strange. I know with COVID, a lot of people are working from home, but then I look at, Raya and the Last Dragon. I'm like, all that was done from home and it was amazing. So I'm not going to let them get away with that excuse because you can be productive wherever you are. Just, see if I can. Not sure is Mo is in her in control our own. I think it's because of the battlefield that Mo kept her form. Could be her grandfather was giving her a power up. Meaning that you would think, though, with all of that power and that being, the battleground where Toga ended up dying originally, that would make her even crazier with power, like bloodlust demon crazy. But I think maybe it's actually Maroha. Her constitution is better. Like she's learning that just charging straight into battle gets you killed because it's almost happened to her numerous times in this season. So maybe she's kind of looking at it like, hey, what I've done in the past isn't working. What if I actually keep my crap together? Let's see how effective I am. And it works. So, but I do agree that Toga does help her a little bit. I'm not sure what writing was worse, the Star Wars sequel trilogy or Yashahime. I'm getting the same vibes from both. I do love the main characters for Yashahime better. Star Wars was definitely worse for sure. And honestly, outside of I can't even call them prequels because the prequels with Natalie Portman and they were horrible. The only good thing I had with those was Darth Maul. That's literally the only thing I liked about those. So yeah, if I'm going to compare them, if I'm pairing these apples to oranges, Yashahime is a much better sequel than the Star Wars. Can we call them? Well, one is a sequel and one is a prequel. So the prequel and the sequel to what I think are the amazing Star Wars movies, which are the originals for me, are horrible. They're just horrible. And Padme is not Rin. No. Riku and Toa is a pointless ship. I don't mind the ship. It's just, it came out of nowhere. So it's like, we got like 3 or 4 episodes of them becoming a ship. And now it's like, oh, okay, they're just established, but they don't really do much. Like you would have thought Riku would have been like, I need to stay for this girl that I like because my master is probably going to try and kill her. But he was like, no, I'm going to follow my madam. So yeah, that whole thing is weird. It's just weird. I hope not. I hope they make season 2 in October like they did last year. Okay, so they did do October of last year. They might. I mean, I don't know if we'll get. That's the thing. I don't know if we'll get it this year. They'll probably start production this year if they're gonna. I mean, who knows? Maybe they already have it. But more than likely, we'll see it in 2022, which kind of sucks. When is season 2 coming? I don't know. I noticed that in anime they don't really mention family like cousins unless it's hentai. Wow. Why would they mention cousins? Nope. Don't tell me. I don't want to know why they mention cousins in hentai. No movie. It will take forever to be released in the USA. Not necessarily. If they simulcast, I have seen them do movies. I'm not talking about movies in the theaters. I mean, an actual movie length, either episode or movie that Viz simulcasts with Japan. That's what I meant. Maria, you're fine. I feel the same way. Not alone. His struggle is real, Star. The struggle is real. You're just being real and calling out the show's BS. So many people are in denial of the show's shortcomings and terrible writing. Yeah, like I said, it all comes down to people getting overly obsessed with their favorite characters. And I mean, there's nothing wrong there. And I have to say this, especially in these times, there's nothing wrong with throwing yourself into a series. And if it makes you happy during this craziness that's happening in our world, then I understand. It's the toxicity part that I don't approve of. I mean, you can be as hyped up on something as you want. Like I said, somebody might get something out of this that we're not getting. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with interpreting something a different way and finding something a different way. I like that because it shows another side to this that I can't see. That is the whole purpose of a review, is to show your point of view. And then people comment and say, oh, I think this and think this and I think this. And 9 times out of 10, you start learning something you never saw when you saw these characters and saw this plot to begin with. Like right now, I welcome somebody to give me more perspective on what happened today, because other than the random theories I'm throwing out and the questions I'm asking, I am lost in this episode. Okay. It's honesty instead of sugarcoating. Yeah, I don't like sugarcoated reviews. If I like something, I have to find something to nitpick, because I don't want to be like, it's got rainbows and they're flying out of my bum. I'm so excited. I've never seen anything greater than this moment in time. Like, why are you watching that? Like, I wouldn't want you to watch my video, because that's a problem. That's very problematic. My reason why Sesshomaru has Tenseiga or Saiga to or gave to the Toa was because she is worthy of compassionate heart to have it, just like his father gave it to him for the reasons to have a compassion instead of power. That's a good theory. Yeah, I think, Reds, that's probably half of it, and the other half is he knows just from watching her use her katana with no blade, or most of the blade is missing, that she has the capability of channeling energy through it. So maybe something about the way she channels her demon energy, and she did take some Korinmaru's, by the way, will allow her to have the ability to use the Tenseiga to bring back her sister. And I think that would be a beautiful scene. Honestly, I think if they want Toa to feel like she's redeemed herself from not being able to save her sister and letting go of her sister's hand in the past, the best way to do that is to bring her back from death. That's like the ultimate. I feel like that's the only way Toa will ever forgive herself, because she's put all this blame on herself. It doesn't even make sense. It's not like she was like, I hate you, Setsuna, go through the fire. No, she dropped her hand. Yeah. And she was a kid, it's going to take something major for her to forgive herself. So I think that would be to me, if anything is accomplished in season 2, having her have that moment with Setsuna would be amazing. And then having them both be able to meet their mother and have Miroha get to meet her parents, I will be happy with that. Will I miss Shippo? Yes. Would I like them to tell me where the hell Shippo is? Absolutely. Will I have to get a Funko doll of Shippo? Yes, because I don't think I'm going to see him in Yashahime. So there's that. But season 2 for me is what I just told you. I feel like that would be my season 2. If we don't have anything else, we don't know anything about the Grimm Comet, nothing else. As long as we have the parents back, Setsuna back, and Toa be the one to save her sister, and they finally do get to meet their parents, I will be cool with that. Laugh my out, Kikyo would have destroyed Korinmaru. Yeah, I think so too. I think she would have been like, no, I don't got time for this. she she probably wouldn't have. She probably would have started to kill him or destroy him and been like, you actually aren't the problem. I'm going after your sister. I'll be back. I won't be watching season 2. I have no confidence in the writers or production. And Sesshomaru and Rin are I guess destined to die. I wish they would have told a different, more slice of life story. So, Star, my rule is to always give every series 3 episodes to try and get you somewhere in your mind. Now, if you've done that with Yashahime, I respect that. I mean, I'm not going to be that person that talks you into doing something you don't want to do. But if you don't watch my reviews, at least watch reviews of season 2, like the first couple of episodes, and see what you think. Because you never know. You might see something that you like, especially where Rin is involved. Because I know that you're a Sesshomaru Rin shipper. So definitely give it a chance for that. You never know. And who knows? Maybe they'll change the writing team. Could happen. I think Miroha was actually able to control it because she had a reason to fight. She was trying to protect those she cared about or cared for. Yeah, that's what I think. I think that was all her. That was her whole fortitude of overcoming that whole crazy part of the Benayasha problem, because that's what it is. It like takes over her mind, and I think grief also helps. I think her seeing Miroha seeing Setsuna, down and dead. Yeah, I think that did a lot. I think it put a lot of stuff in perspective. Her cousin is dead. Her other cousin, it could die. And this man killed her family. And that is what that is. So, yeah. Sesshomaru won the Father of the Year award. I mean, it's Sesshomaru. He's never going to win the Father of the Year award. The last scene of Sesshomaru and Towa was really touching. I wish we would have got more scenes of him interacting with his daughter. I wish she would have called him Tosan or something, not just Sesshomaru-sama. But I get it. She doesn't really know him. I shed a little tear when Setsuna fell asleep. She finally got some rest from the show. I love that scene. I loved it. And that was the one main thing I took besides Miroha and Towa's battle that I liked about this episode. But it's just the butterfly flying to her head and then disappearing. It's like, okay, what does that mean now? Is the butterfly destroyed? And then why was it there to begin with? Is it connected to Rin? But they blamed Kirimaru for the butterfly. So why would he just give her this dream butterfly? What did he get out of Setsuna not sleeping and not having memories? Because he seems to be helping them. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, you had me in the first half. Yes, I'm the exact way. I give a show 3 episodes. Yep. You can't judge it by the first. Sometimes the 3rd episode will hook me in to give it a little bit more, because you never know where a story is going to go. So there are some, I'm also a big Sentai and Tokusatsu fan. And there are some series that you watch it and you're just like, what the hell? Like, I'm having that problem with Zenkaiger. I'm 2 episodes in and I'm like, I'm hoping the 3rd one reels me in, because right now I'm not liking it very much. But then on the opposite scope, we have Kamen Rider Saber, which is like a Kamen Rider series based, but has books and fairy tale like basis. And I effing love it so much that I'm on episode 15. So like, I feel like you never know what's going to capture your attention in these shows. And with Yashahime, I gave it 3 episodes, but what caught me was I really liked I love Miroha. I think Miroha really, for me, pulled me into this because I needed to see where they were going with her. And that's why in some of my reviews, I would get so upset with how they were treating her, because I'm like, she is such a lovable character. Toa had the luxury of being raised by, let's face it, Miroha's basically her direct family, because it's her mother's family. That's basically, they're the cousins in this scenario. But, Toa was raised by Sota, not Miroha. And so Miroha was shafted with that. And then she didn't even get to be raised by Kaide like Setsuna, who eventually ended up back with Kaide and Sango and Moroku and Hisoe and all of them. She was off with Koga's, clan, and then sold off basically into child slavery to pay off debts that her master did from gambling. I was so invested with this character, and I was getting so upset plot-wise for her because of what they were doing. So that is what ruled me. I mean, it sucked me in. Moroha is what got me involved. I like Setsuna. I like Toa. And I love my OG people, but Moroha is why I stayed. And that is the truth. Had they killed Moroha off in this and didn't bring her back, I would have a lot of problems watching this. I'm going to be real with you. Don't get me wrong. I adore the show, but the questions keep me tired. And you're not alone. I mean, you guys should pity me. I have to watch Ruby and do a review on that. The easiest review I'm going to do today is probably Power Rangers, because it's a kid's show. It's crazy. There's spandex. It's fun. I like it. Spin off my Sentai, but it's not like it's going to be pushing any plot points in my head like this one is. I won't have as many questions. I'll probably have questions, but I won't have as many what the hell questions with that series, because I kind of know where it's going. But yeah, Ruby might mess me up. I might have some therapy today. Between Yashahime and Ruby, I may be messed up today. Also, I need to review the Justice League Zack Snyder cut too, so that's going to be a thing. It's basically anime rule of thumb or the 3-episode rule. Don't stop or drop before episode 3, since a lot can happen until then. It's true. It is true. I know some people who'll tell you that some of the series they watch don't even pick up to episode 9, and that is really hard. But then I remember, I don't know if you guys ever watched Firefly, but they messed up and didn't even start with the pilot episode. I think they ended up playing episode 3 and then kind of going forward. So you're kind of left with what is happening. And it ended up being one of the most amazing shows. And we were so angry when Fox canceled it. So I have to look at it that way too, that how they air it, how it's written can be such a slow burn. And then you miss out on all of the great quality shows and episodes because of how it's aired. So I don't know. It's weird. I actually feel bad for Krimaru. His best friend died. His sister is gray. His best friend's kids and grandkids are trying to kill him for no reason. And your subordinates have zero chill. First of all, Chibi Julie, I love your name. Second of all, you've made the most valid points, because every one of those is why Krimaru is not a villain. He is not the villain. And quite frankly, if he's the one that's the sensei in the future, trying to stop that Grim Comet from happening, which is probably why he's there. We all think it's for nefarious reasons. He might just be there, but well, damn it. Now I got to figure out how to kill and get rid of this comet on my own, without another, demon or half demon here to help me. Then that could be what's happening. Or this guy is actually a descendant of Korinmaru, which means he got with somebody. So, I mean, could happen. Let's see here. Sorry, trying to move down a little bit. Okay, here we go. This episode, though, I was just going, what? Yep, what is the theme? I mean, should I name the video that? Should it be just have the name and then put what? Question mark? I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to change the name of this video in a little while to what? With a question mark. Rin's would be more happy if she's married to Kohaku. Probably. I mean, and honestly, I don't know if it would have stopped Zero, because then she probably just would have focused more on Kagome and Inuyasha's kid, because again, another half demon married a human. But I think she's more angry that Sesshomaru married a human because he's full demon and he followed in his dad's footsteps. So that's why she wanted to kill those girls, because she didn't really seem to be after Moroha a lot. Moroha was just there interjecting because she's the cousin. So it really did not feel like she was trying to kill Moroha. Moroha was trying to kill her. Do you have any anime recommendations that aren't filled with fan service? Anything Gundam. And I can't say they're not filled with fan service, but it's not in your face fan service. I also like some older shows. I like Sosei no Aquarium. I think it's called is it Aquarian Wings? Age of Aquarian? I don't know, but it's So Say No Aquarian. I like that show a lot. There's a lot of shows. It depends on what you're into, though. Like, are you into comedy? Are you into action? Are you into sci-fi-ish type series? Bobacious Space Pirates is fun. It's actually really fun. My all-time favorite anime, one of them anyway, is Nadesco, Martian successor Nadesco. Love that show. So if you haven't seen Nadesco, I would definitely watch that. It's like WandaVision. I watched the first 2 episodes and then it started making sense. At first, I wasn't going to give it a chance. It was good. Yeah, the problem, Cat Girl, with WandaVision is if you're not heavily, and I mean heavily, into the comics, you will miss a lot of Easter eggs that they want you to see. Like how every commercial has something to do with Wanda's traumatic past, or how, like, even in episode 1 with the beekeeper, if you didn't know about, the special organization that was hired by, Shield, or sorry, not Shield, Sword, then you wouldn't know, who any of these people are. And any of these, like, Easter eggs that they're trying to present wouldn't make any sense. So, especially since the MCU was putting Easter eggs in that were never in any of their previous movies. So they were all comic book driven. So I get that. But I mean, I'm glad that you liked it. Hopefully you're liking Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm liking it so far. It's pretty good. We've only got 1 episode in. I don't have really any major complaints. So it's pretty good. I have to watch WandaVision. Sammy, yes, you do. It is very good. This story makes no real sense, though. Why give it more of a chance? The first season equals first impression, and it sucked. Well, true. I mean, if you didn't like anything about the first season, then 9 times out of 10, you may not like season 2. But to be fair, there are some things that get better with the seasons when they go. Like, I liked another show, a little random show called Humans. The UK version, basically where the robots or synthetic life forms start getting emotions. The first season was slow burn. It was boring. The second and third season kicked ass. So, I mean, it just really depends on who writes it. And again, if they get new writers, which they do like to rotate their writers, even over in Japan, it may get better. But I understand, because I like Gundam Seed a lot and I hated Gundam Seed Destiny. The sequel sucked. So I don't know. But at least check out a review and see if you like it. Because I feel like then you'll know. You won't have a what if or a question mark over your head. Did something get better? You'll at least know. Maroha is my adopted daughter, or my favorite daughter. She's my second daughter. My very favorite daughter is the one I gave birth to, and her name is Mai. She actually did a review on my channel for the Final Fantasy VII Remake game, but that is my daughter. Got to give her props. She probably can hear me. I love you, Mai. Sunrise. Did Yashahime did it as a cash grab? Sunrise does everything as a cash grab. I mean, but to be fair, every company does everything as a cash grab. I like Maroha and Setsuna. I love all 3 girls. I think Toa has more concern for Maroha, or at least that's not true. She shows more concern for Maroha than Setsuna, because Setsuna acts more like Sesshomaru. Toa looks more like him, and Setsuna acts more like Sesshomaru. Like, because Toa to me acts more like Rin. So, yeah. Oh my God, totally enjoyed the Justice League movie. I actually did too. This was the movie they should have released. I have a lot to say about that. That's going to be another video. I will go and watch some Sesshomaru AMVs with Linkin Park music in the background on 144p to mend my broken brain from Yashahime. I get it. Gotta do what you gotta do. Like, I get it. Enjoyed. Okay. Sorry. It just skipped down, so I'm going to try and get as many of these as I can. Yes, Maroha and Setsuna are great, but still the writing and decisions made with this project are just wrong. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's been challenging. It has been. Krimmer be like, I can tolerate a lot of things, but not you scratching my face. Your sister did it, and now you. Nah, fam. I'm serious. He was like composed. He was like being rational, and then she cut his face. She's like, this is the only good side. Hell no. By the way, Maria, oh, you think I'm pretty today? Thank you. Even with my bags, I feel so tired, guys. I'm sipping this coffee like it's doing something. It's doing nothing. It's good. Doing nothing. But I appreciate that. Thank you, Trish. I think she thinks of Toa and Setsuna as the proof TGAT Shishomaru. Tell me what. I'm sorry, it's a typo. That Sesshomaru is following his father's footsteps. Yeah, I think both of them are kind of. See, Toa is too emotional. It's been the running theme of this show. Setsuna has her emotions more in check. She's the one that would be willing to kill someone to save her sister. Like, if it's like even an innocent person, I can see that. Even though she has a good heart, I really think that she puts that level of her saving her sister above how she would feel about killing people. Toa can't kill people unless they hurt Setsuna on Maroha, because I think she would do the same for Maroha. If Maroha was the one that got killed, I really think Toa would have also snapped. You can see it. Even in the BS episode with the freaking bounty hunters versus the demon slayers, when Toa thought they were really hurting Maroha, she was going to fight her own sister. So I do love that we got that. We got those bonds, because in the beginning, I was a little shaky, like how they kept leaving Maroha behind. But then all of a sudden, Toa was like, no, Maroha is my cousin, pretty much. She didn't say it, but then she's, this is my Maroha. You can't touch my Maroha. You can't touch my Setsuna. These are my things. You can't have them. And I actually thought that was cute. So I do think that writing wise, the bond between the three girls is a lot better, and I appreciate it. I have no words for this episode. I'm upset Setsuna died for now. Good way of putting that. But I'm more upset we don't know what Sesshomaru said to Toa. That's what I hope it's not like some other shows I saw where, you whisper something and then you say what you actually just said. So he just whispered, he was whispering, why don't you try this? And then he says, why don't you try this? Because I think it's redundant to say that, that's what she really heard. But everything was slow-mo. I mean, who knows? Maybe he said, you can bring her back. And then why don't you try using this? Which is what I think he said. That's me. That's just me putting it out there. I think he said that, but who knows? I love Falcon and Winter Soldier. I watched it last night. It was great. Great. I really, really enjoyed the first episode. Imagine how many fights and story progressions they could have made, like the one today. I'm in earlier episodes, and not filler. I know the filler is what killed this series. It's so bad to have that many filler episodes in a series that has no establishing manga. Sesshomaru only making half demon childs for a prophecy. Now it really makes me wonder if the prophecy is real, or if Zero didn't just say that because she wanted to get rid of them because she was mad about Toga having a human wife and then his son doing the same thing. Do you know how much BS that would be if there was no prophecy and that was just her trying to get her brother to help her get rid of them? That would suck, and that would make Zero even crazier. No, we had to see that kimono get dirty. That was plot important. Oh, I hated that. Honestly, that princess is the scariest thing in that freaking anime. They need to watch her. I enjoy anything with a decent storyline, although I love fantasy, samurai-based sci-fi and such. I just hate coming in contact with fan service over sexualization of young female characters. I get that. Unfortunately, Anne does that all the time, even in the best storylines. Samurai Deeper Kyo is a very good one too. If you want to check out like good samurai, I'm a big Rurouni Kenshin fan. If you haven't seen Rurouni Kenshin, definitely watch the anime. And they actually have manga released now. That's a sequel. It takes place, I think, 3 or 4 years after the anime ends, which I love because they have an OAV that came after the series. It takes place during the Jinju or Revenge Saga. That it just sucks. I don't like it. They do something with the main character that's stupid, and with the main character's wife that's stupid. And so I'm not looking at that as canon. And now that they've released this manga, it's not canon. So I'm very happy. But so if you ignore the OAV specials after the anime series ends, except for, I think called English to Samurai X, that's fine because that's Kenshin's past. But any of the ones after that, just ignore them. They're just trash. They're not even meant to watch. And there's a live action movie series like trilogy. They're releasing the third one, I think. Third one or fourth one now this year. Really well done. So Rurouni Kenshin is I highly recommend Rurouni Kenshin. It's a very, very good series. Okay. No, I meant Zero case. That she's crazy. I'm sorry, Lala. Can you expand on that? It makes sense that he be pissed for real. The other side of his face is scaly and they keep hurting the good side. The man wants to remove the mask. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I get it. Love Kenshin. Yes, Kenshin is, there's just, what can you say that's not good about Kenshin? I love Kenshin. Samurai Champloo is also awesome. You're absolutely correct. I love Samurai Champloo. Demon Eye Kyo is good. Yeah. I mean, Samurai series in general are good. Seven Samurai. I'm actually in Seven Samurai. I have a small character in that, but I think I died, so I don't remember who she is, but in the dub version of that. But Seven Samurai is good too. Okay, so we can assume that the mask suppressed his real powers, or he was just ready to throw down. I think he just didn't want anybody to see the scaly face that he had, because he seemed really upset about his good half being cut. So I don't know. Because see, Toga had a whole full pretty face. He only has half of a pretty face. So he's like protective of that side. And now it has scars. I don't know. Oh, Kame-sama Kiss is good. I love that show. That's on Hulu too. I think I have that in my queue. Okay, Horimiya and Wonder Egg Pride. I haven't seen that. I have not seen that. I probably should though. Have you seen Moribito? A little bit. I've got that in my queue. I have a ton of anime in my queue. I've been watching Madoka too. That's a mind twist. A mind twist. I'm also trying to watch this anime on Netflix, and I always forget the name of it, but it basically has the word high rise in it, and it's an anime, and like these people in masks are trying to kill you, and it's just this whole conspiracy, and like this girl is looking for her brother, and it's actually really good. I've only watched the first episode, but it's good so far. So I need to resume that. The problem is when you have 2 jobs and a YouTube channel, your time is very limited on when you can enjoy things. And at this point, because I'm a review channel, I'm watching so much that it's hard. I'm like, I really want to get back to this. I stopped at this episode, but I have to review this show and this show and this show. I mean, so many of the shows I review are all out simultaneously, which is why I have 3 episodes today to do, because Power Rangers Dino Fury is out today. That's new. Ruby is new. As a matter of fact, Ruby should be posting probably now. So I have to watch that. So we're going to end the stream pretty soon. And then I have to do my Justice League review. And then tomorrow I have Charmed and Batwoman. So I always have something. Monday night, I usually have Black Lightning, but I think I'm going to actually start doing that on Tuesday with my Superman and Lois and Flash review. So I'm like, literally, I work 7 days a week. 7. It's fun. I love having reviews. I love talking to you guys, but I'm not going to lie. Sometimes it's exhausting. The reason we moved this to a live stream format is because I was getting up at 5 a.m., but I was working sometimes until after midnight. And I was doing this for the past, 21 episodes. I would get up at 5 in the morning, watch it, and then film a review. And then have it edited and then go right into Ruby. And it was just back to back to back. And it's just tiring when you're tired. So a lot easier to do this in live stream form. But my Ruby videos are edited. So that's why it's just a lot. It's a lot. Last week you asked for new anime to review. I hope you would do Jiron, Princess of Snow and Blood. Somebody told me that. Can you put that in the comment when this goes away? Put that in the comment below so I can check that out, because I will forget this name. And I can't open my notepad right now to write that down. So if you can do that, that would be awesome, because I am really interested in that. What is Ruby? RWBY is a Rooster Teeth original animation that was originally created by Monty Ohm. And it's very, very cool. So go to YouTube after the stream and look up anything RWBY videos, and you'll see a bunch of videos about it. It's very, very cool. High Rise Invasion. Thank you, Trish. That is what I'm watching. It is good. I watched the first episode. It is really good. I'm hoping I can check it out on Thursday, because I have a little bit of time. So I'm going to check out some more episodes, because that's when I watch things usually on Thursdays. So one day I don't normally do reviews is Thursday. But I also have a full-time job and I do voice acting. So it depends if I have a job or not. I don't know. We'll see. But that is a very good show. If you have not checked it out, it is on Netflix. Does Ruby have fan service? I was tempted to watch it. Not really. It has interesting animation. I really don't feel like it's fan service. They're basically demon or grim hunters. They hunt down these grims, and everyone's based on a different fairy tale. It is very progressive. So now the animation style gets different as time, like we have a little bit better animation now than we did with the first volume. So the first volume, you'll see a bunch of people walking around and they'll be like blank faced and stuff. And it looks like a webtoon, but it's very, very cool. Yes, I am a voice actor. You can look me up on IMDb under Maria Park. I've done lots of voice stuff. I do a lot of video games now. I've done small roles with Funimation in the past. I've done a bunch of stuff. So yeah, I've been doing voice acting for 21 years. So very long time. Let's see. Have you watched 7 Deadly Sins? I have watched 7 episodes of 7 Days. That's ironic. 7 Deadly Sins. Pretty good so far. I've also been trying to get into Fairy Tail. I'm actually friends with one of the voice actors from Fairy Tail. I did an interview with her. She has 2 names. I need to see what she goes by. I think Ayu is what she goes by. I'll have to go back and look, but you'll see an interview with her coming up. I have a few Funimation voice actor interviews, so be on the lookout for that. Okay, I'm gonna do one more question, and then I gotta go watch Ruby. What is this? Technically 2, because there's one above I need to get to. Girls grow up like Lion Club. That's why one of them dies. Yeah, I feel like he is saying it's basically the battle of the fittest and Setsuno. My problem is that they didn't battle each other. So that theory to me kind of washed out because they were killed by an outsider. It wasn't like the twins were fighting each other to the death and then the strongest survived. That's what I thought he meant. Totosai mentioned the Heavenly Blade, Yukare no Tachikiri. It means like Link's severed sword, as it can sever links between people. Yeah, that's probably what they're going to use to sever Rin and Zero. That's probably why they dropped that. And all of this stuff is for season 2. None of this stuff was for season 1. So yeah. And the last question was, it was originally a webtoon project in America, right? Yes. Because Monty Ohm used to do these really cool dead fantasy videos, like music videos. They're really great. And then he came up with this original concept for Ruby, RWBY, named after the team Ruby, Weiss, Blake, and Yang. And they became like kind of rabid. Everybody went viral with it. And so they decided to go ahead and do full series. Unfortunately, Monty died before, I think either before season 1 came out or as production was happening. So he died. And so Rooster Teeth kind of kept it going. I've always wondered what his original story concepts were. And I don't know if his wife was involved in writing it or what, but yeah, but I like it. I enjoy the show, especially now. Volume 8 is the darkest series of all of the Ruby volumes. So it's really, really good. But okay, I love you guys. It's been an hour and 37 minutes. I have got to go watch Ruby. I also have to watch Power Rangers, so I have to do 2 videos back to back. Yay. I'll probably put Power Rangers out first because that one's easier. But I love you. You guys are awesome. Chastin, thank you for being here. You are amazing. I'll let you know. I'll schedule if I'm going to do a live stream or not for Justice League this afternoon, or if I'm just going to do a video. Either way, I'll post it on the community tab. But you guys have been amazing. Thank you for following me, subscribing. Thank you for hanging out with me in the mornings on, if it's night for you, morning for you, on Saturday to talk about Yashahime, because you guys have been absolutely amazing. Your theories have been amazing. Your comments have been amazing. I will review season 2. No worries. And then if you want me to review a show, please put it in the comments below, because I need to replace this anime with another anime. But please don't say something like My Hero Academia. That thing is like in the hundreds. And so is One Piece. I will be here for the rest of my life trying to catch up with that. So try and find something that doesn't have as many episodes. All right. I love you guys. Have a good rest of your day and be on the lookout for new videos.